Hey everyone, it's January 24th, about 7 o'clock p.m. There's something I've been wanting to talk about for a little while now, and either haven't had time or else, I just didn't. And that's like identifying, particularly how I identify. Uh, I've been watching and reading a lot lately, and people are really like sure of how they identify, and some people have like these long streams of like, this is how I identify, and there just seems to be more and more of it, or else I'm just more cognizant of it. Sorry, that's Metro. Metro, quiet. Um, and it's been making me think about how I identify, and I've actually been thinking about that a lot lately for like the past 2 months of just trying to figure out how I identify. And even last night, I was filling out an application for a scholarship, and it's I don't know. It's oh, what's it called? I forget what it is, but it's for LGBT identified people, and even under the basic information, I mean, they do name and they do um, gender identity, and under the selection for gender identity, it was like male, female, M to F, F to M, transgender, gender queer. There was just this huge list of things you could select from, and then the same kind of under sexual orientation is gay, straight, lesbian, uh, uh, queer, just everything, pansexual, everything you could think of. And I'm trying to pick one, and I couldn't. I couldn't do it. I was just realizing that there's no one way that I identify. My identity is much more fluid, and it constantly morphs based on the context. Um, like there are times when yes, I strongly identify as male, or sometimes that I almost identify more with the small part of me that's still female. Um, I identify as transgender. It's completely dependent on the setting and what's going on, and it's very interesting. And then sexual orientation, which I have not touched on in any of my videos, and for a reason. Um, that one I don't choose at all, and it's not that I don't. It's not that I don't have like attractions to anyone. I do, but I don't want to limit myself by labeling myself, and then I also don't share it with other people because I don't want to be influenced one way or the other, or influenced into, I don't know, a relationship or dating someone. I don't want that at all. So I get people all the time wondering, am I gay? Am I straight? Am I bisexual? What? They never ask me, which is funny, but they ask all my other friends. Um, it's much harder, I guess, to ask someone straight off, but then like the gossip, or I don't really want to call it gossip, but it's easier to ask indirectly. But yeah, people constantly wonder, and I don't tell people. Um, that's something I really just do not share. And I don't really intend to. I mean, people make assumptions all the time, and I'll go with their assumptions. Um, I'll be hanging out with my guy friends, and they'll be talking about going and picking up girls, and it's not that I want to do that at all, but, maybe I'll go wingman for them and try to help in a nice way. But, yeah, it's very interesting. Filling out that form, it was very hard, and it was kind of cool because under identity they said if you want to add anything about your identity, there's a space for it for provided for you. And oh, it was so hard. I don't know, but yeah, it's just realizing that I don't identify one way um, over another. It's very hard. I I don't know if I'm sure other people have experienced that, and but I just haven't heard too many people talk about it, that you just don't identify one way or the other. Um, so it kind of puts you in an interesting position because people are constantly wondering, and even my parents wonder, and my sister wonder, who I'm gonna end up dating, marrying, anything like that, and I I don't know. I really don't know, and I don't want to limit myself because I mean, it's even true of yourself. As soon as you label yourself, you kind of, a lot of the times you try to start fitting within that construct, and I don't even want to do that. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what I've been thinking about. uh, just identities. It's very cool, and it's just very fun to watch other people who identify really strongly one way or the other, and that's very, good for them. Um, but when you don't, it puts you in an entirely different position. Sometimes it's very frustrating. Sometimes I wish I could just, you know, say and go with that, and it creates a construct for you, and it makes the world a little bit less scary to navigate, I guess, because you have that community, that population with which you fit into really well. But when you don't, you don't. So it's kind of I don't know. I really don't know. It's just a whole other mode of operating. Um, so yeah, very, very interesting. Um, that was my thought for the night. I will make an update as well, like on physical stuff, because I'm looking really good after surgery. So I'll. That sounded conceited, but no, just everything's healing well. So I'll make a quick update on that as well. Okay, bye.